If you were to put me in charge of interrogations at Guantanamo Bay, I would only need one torture technique to extract information from any prisoner. That torture technique would be making them complete the Platinum Trophy on Black Ops 3. And look, I like Black Ops 3. I thought it had a very underrated multiplayer, and it has the best zombies experience of any Call of Duty game. But when I say the Platinum Trophy on this game is by far the most difficult thing I have ever done in a video game, that is not an exaggeration, that is not a joke. That is, I'm completely serious. This Platinum Trophy has taken years off of my life. Hearing anyone talk about the Platinum Trophy on this game is like a Pavlovian trigger for me. I hear it, and I immediately start sweating, I get stressed, I get angry. I've gotten the Platinum Trophy on quite a few games, and this game is by far the most difficult. But before we get into this, there is one thing that I need to clarify. My pain and suffering with this has been over for a while. What I mean by that is I currently, as of recording this, have the Platinum Trophy, and I've had it for a few months. And if this were a video about a Platinum Trophy on any other game, I would make a separate account and go back and re-earn it. But with this game, I'm sorry, I can't do that. I cannot mentally bring myself to re-earn this trophy on another account. I would legitimately go insane. So I am going to be talking about this trophy in hindsight. Now, there are three main parts to this Platinum Trophy. There are the campaign trophies, the multiplayer trophies, and the zombies trophies. I'm going to start off by talking about the multiplayer and zombies trophies, because those really aren't that bad. It's the campaign trophies, and really just one campaign trophy in particular, that is just absolutely abysmal. Starting off with the multiplayer trophies, there's only 4 of them, and they're all really not that bad. Chances are, if you played Black Ops 3's multiplayer in its prime, you earned these naturally, which is exactly what I did. So going down the list here, we have Welcome to the Club, which you get for reaching level 10, Battle Tested, which you get for reaching level 55, Tactical Specialist, which you get for getting 5 medals based on a specialist ability in a single game, so pretty much just get 5 kills with your specialist weapon in one game, and then Deadly Specialist, which you get by getting a specialist based medal that requires 3 or more rapid kills while using any specialist weapon. So basically you just have to get a triple kill with a specialist weapon. So again, none of these are unreasonably difficult. However, if you're trying to do these today, it could be a little bit frustrating, as there are not very many lobbies still left on Black Ops 3's multiplayer, as well as the fact that there is a well-known invisibility glitch in the game that Activision refuses to let developers go back and patch. So you might just have to like cycle through lobbies until you can get one where there's not anyone cheating, but regardless, it's not that difficult. Moving on to the zombies trophies, there are 9 of them, and most of them can be earned naturally, and the ones that aren't, as long as you're decent at zombies and you know what you're doing, they aren't that difficult. Another thing to note is that all of these have to be done on Shadows of Evil, they can't be done on any other map. So we have Beginning of the End in Shadows of Evil, complete all rituals, so you just have to complete the 4 main rituals and open up Pack-a-Punch. From the Shadows, in Shadows of Evil, spot the Shadow Man 5 times in one game. This one is pretty easy to get, and you'll probably do it unintentionally while just progressing through the map. Not out of Gobblegum, purchase and chew every type of Gobblegum in your pack, so you have to use all 5 unique Gobblegums that are in your loadout in one single game. Since you can get a free Gobblegum at the beginning of every round, all you really need to do is get to round 5 and get a Gobblegum at the beginning of every round. Sorry, we're dead, kill 10 zombies that are inside of a store in one game, so just on the store locations that are in the map, you have to kill the zombies while they're inside before they break through the barrier. Strike, use the rocket shield attack to kill at least 10 zombies in one burst. Beat Cop, summon the Civil Protector in every district in a single game. The Spider and the Fly, kill 10 zombies ensnared by a Widow's Wine Grenade. Margwa Party, kill 2 Margwas in a single round. And Parasite Scene, kill 5 parasites while riding on the train. The only ones that you really have to go out of your way for are Strike, Beat Cop, Margwa Party, and Parasite Scene. Strike is pretty easy, you just build the shield, then train up a horde of zombies, and then burst through them. You should kill 10. The only reason I say you have to go out of your way for this is because the shield blast isn't that useful in Shadows of Evil, and you're really only gonna ever use it to get this trophy. Beat Cop can be a little time consuming because you do have to open up the entire map and then call in the Civil Protector a total of 4 times, since there are 4 districts, each time costing 2,000 points. For Margwa Party, it's actually not possible to get 2 Margwas in the same round through round progression alone. One spawns every 6 rounds after round 8, and it will always be just 1. But getting 2 to spawn in a single round is pretty straightforward. You can just open up the entire map and then do all of the rituals on the same round. Since you get 1 Margwa spawn every 2 rituals, after you finish the 4th one and kill the 2nd Margwa, you should get the trophy. Or you'll just get it naturally by upgrading the Apothecon Sword, since the Boxing Gym egg location spawns in 2 Margwas. For Parasite Seeing, you just need to wait for a bug round and then ride the train, and then kill 5 of the bugs while on the train. As long as you have an ICR or an HVK, this should be pretty easy. Now that we have the easy ones out of the way, let's move on to the psychological torture.
How the hell did you... How is your time?
Overall, the Black Ops 3 campaign is terrible. It has an uninteresting story, and it has very boring missions, so just having to play the campaign itself is already a punishment. Before we get into the main trophies, I'm going to start off with the miscellaneous ones, as they aren't that bad. So we have Hold Still, kill 6 enemies affected by 1 Blinding Swarm or Firefly Swarm. Rolling Heavy, kill 5 enemies using 1 burst of Unstoppable Force. Sting Like a Talon, in campaign kill 20 enemies while flying the same Talon. Decimator, kill 10 enemies in under 3 seconds. Curator, discover all of the collectibles. Gun Game, kill 5 enemies with 5 different guns in under 30 seconds. Doing Camo Right, unlock all camos for any weapon. Maximum Firepower, take control of an ASP. Walking Encyclopedia, discover all of the collectibles in any mission. Crack Shot, kill 5 enemies from over 100 meters away. Can't Hide, kill an enemy through a wall or an obstruction. Biff Bap Kapow, kill 3 enemies in a melee combo. Inertial Distance, wall run over 250 meters. For real this time, earn a gold rating in the training simulator. Foe to Friend, use an enemy combat robot to kill 10 enemies. Throwing Flak, kill 3 Talons with a single mid-air grenade detonation. Unlocked Potential, fully upgrade a cybernetics core. Lock, Stock, and then some, unlock all attachments for any weapon. In Their Sleep, kill 5 stunned enemies in under 3 seconds. And Silverback and Black, hack the data vault and brace yourself for Cyber's Avenging in Dead Ops Arcade 2. All you have to do for that one is just play Dead Ops Arcade. The only notably difficult ones are Rolling Heavy and Throwing Flak. Rolling Heavy is really tedious just because the Unstoppable Force ability is pretty bad. You can have 5 enemies lined up and hit them all and still not kill them all. You pretty much just have to find a segment in the campaign where 5 enemies line up and do it over and over and over again until you manage to kill them all, restarting at the checkpoint every time you fail. Throwing Flak is also tedious because the grenades don't have a very big blast radius, and while there are multiple parts of the campaign where there are groups of Talons, you do have to time the grenade throw perfectly and have it go off right in the middle of the group, and the Talons are also constantly moving. Now let's get on to the main ones, the big bad wolves here. We have Full Circle, complete the campaign on Hardened Veteran or Realistic, and then each mission also has its own trophy that you get for completing it on Hardened Veteran or Realistic. No One Will Believe You, complete the campaign on Realistic. Another Side of the Story, complete the campaign on any difficulty. And Personal Decorator, earn all decorations. The notably difficult ones here are No One Will Believe You and Personal Decorator. So starting it off with No One Will Believe You, complete the campaign on Realistic, the title of that trophy is very accurate, because if you told me that you did this, I would not believe you. I would need to see some sort of physical evidence that you actually did this. So if you're unaware, Black Ops 3's campaign has all the normal difficulties that are in all the other Call of Duty games: Recruit, Regular, Hardened, and Veteran. However, there is an extra difficulty called Realistic. Now this difficulty is similar to Veteran in the sense that the enemies have very good AI. As soon as you turn a corner, they will snap to you, they have aimbot. However, the main difference is that you are one shot. That is not an exaggeration, you are literally one shot the entire time. If you get hit with any sort of damage from any range, you will die. This difficulty is absolute hell. It's so difficult that it's just unfair. You cannot stay out of cover for more than a second because the moment that you enter an enemy's line of sight, they are going to snap to you and you're dead. Words simply cannot describe how difficult this is. If you have Black Ops 3, load it up and just play the first mission on realistic. Just play the first mission. Try to get past the first segment of that mission. And then imagine having to play through the entire boring campaign on that difficulty. Now don't get me wrong here. Doing this was difficult. It was very, very, very difficult. However, it wasn't that bad, at least compared to the second trophy, which we'll talk about in a second. Yes, the enemies do have aimbot. Yes, you are one-shot, but you are still getting checkpoints throughout the mission. So as long as you just play slow and use like a sniper rifle that has a thermal sight and make use of your specialist abilities, you can usually force yourself to the next checkpoint pretty easily. Each mission takes probably around 2 hours to do, which, again, is a lot, but it's not that bad when compared to Personal Decorator. Remember when I said earlier in the video that there is one particular trophy that makes this entire platinum experience just absolutely abysmal? This is it. So in the campaign, there are these decorations, which are like these little awards you get for doing challenges throughout the campaign, and so you have to complete all of them. Now, on the surface, that might not seem too bad, but let's take a look at what these challenges are. So we have Master of Arms, earn all campaign weapons, attachments, and camos, Dedicated to Excellence, fully upgrade all cyber cores, Armament Superiority, unlock and purchase all weapons, lethals, tacticals, and cyber combat abilities, Heroic Service, complete the campaign on Veteran difficulty, Legendary Service, complete the campaign on Realistic difficulty, Immortal Fame, complete every mission in the game at least once on Veteran without restarting from a checkpoint, Chronicler, locate all of the collectibles in the campaign, Above and Beyond, complete all accolades for all missions, Duty Calls, complete all campaign challenges, Tried and True, earn a score of 35,000 in the training simulator, Grim Reaper, neutralize 2,000 hostiles, and Full Honors, earn all campaign decorations. Now, about half of these you'll earn naturally just by going for the other ones, those being Dedicated to Excellence, Armament Superiority, Heroic Service, and Legendary Service. You get the Heroic Service one automatically if you do the campaign on Realistic, Chronicler, Tried and True, and Grim Reaper. And then Full Honors isn't even like a real one, it's just one that you get after you get all the other ones. However, the ones that I didn't mention, those being Master of Arms, Immortal Fame, Above and Beyond, and Duty Calls, are egregiously difficult. Starting off with the hardest one, Immortal Fame, complete every mission in the game at least once on Veteran without restarting from a checkpoint. Now, to clarify, you do not have to complete every mission consecutively without dying. It's just that you have to complete every individual mission at least once without dying on Veteran. Which, granted, Veteran is not as difficult as Realistic, but Veteran is still very, very difficult, and getting through even one mission without dying on that difficulty is unbelievably hard, and you have to do that for every single mission. So if you're playing through a mission, and at any point you die, you have to completely restart the entire mission, even if you're at the very end. Another thing that's also important to mention here, if you've never played the Black Ops 3 campaign, the thing you need to understand about the missions is that they are very long, much longer than the missions in any other Call of Duty game. And so, for obvious reasons, that makes this challenge even worse. Now, recently I have learned that there is some sort of glitch you can use to make this easier, but at the time of going for this, I did not know about that. So I did this the way it was intended. Now, some of these missions aren't too bad if you play them very, very, very slowly. In fact, a few of them I was actually able to do on my first try. However, some of them are very difficult. One mission in particular, the second to last mission called Lotus Towers, was by far the most difficult. On top of this mission being the longest in the entire game and loaded with a bunch of different enemies, there is a boss fight at the very end. During this boss fight, there's a giant VTOL jet thing, and it's shooting rockets at you, it's shooting bullets at you, and it's launching those spinning meatball things. I forgot what they're called in multiplayer, but the spinning like meatball things that track you and blow up on you. The rockets will one-shot you, the meatballs will one-shot you, and the bullets that it fires damn near one-shot you as well. And throughout the entire fight, this thing is flying around the sky. It can destroy your cover. You have to play virtually perfectly to get this done. And keep in mind, if you die at any point in this boss fight, you have to restart the entire mission, which again is one of the longest and most difficult missions in the entire game. All of the other missions took me probably about 4 to 10 hours on the difficult ones to complete. This one took me a total of I think around 35 in-game hours to finally complete. When I say that I had nearly 200 restarts, that's not an exaggeration, that is the actual number. And while a lot of these restarts did occur very early on into the mission, a good number of them happened during the boss fight, at the very end of the mission. I very quickly lost my mind with this mission, and when I completed it, I didn't even feel any relief or joy. I just sat there and thought, damn, I really just spent 35 hours of my life on this. If you ever attempt this challenge yourself, my biggest recommendation is to have a bottle of Xanax with you to calm you down, because this will make you the angriest you have ever been. Moving on to Above and Beyond, complete all accolades for all missions. So every mission has a set of in-game challenges that you have to do. Now, most of these challenges are pretty easy, but you do have to go out of your way for virtually all of them, and so it ends up just being really time-consuming. There are 16 per mission, with the exception of one mission that has 17, and there are 11 missions in total, which brings you to a total of 177 accolades. Some of these are pretty difficult, but again, most of them aren't that bad. It's just that you have to go so out of your way to complete them. Moving on to Duty Calls, complete all campaign challenges. So what this is referring to is all of the calling card challenges. A lot of them you'll get just by doing the other decorations. However, a good number of them you do have to go way out of your way to get. You have to get a bunch of kills with all of the specialist abilities. But there is one that stands out from the rest, and that is Ready for Anything. Complete all waves of the combat immersion on realistic. So the combat immersion is this little mini-game mode that'll put you through 16 waves of enemies that get increasingly harder per wave, and you have to complete it on realistic. This is damn near impossible, because if you die once, you have to restart the entire thing, and you're playing on realistic, so veteran AI, and you're one-shot the entire time. You have foot soldiers that spawn in, you have guys with riot shields, you have robots, you have big robots, you have drones that fly around. On some waves, all of those will spawn in at once. This made me want to repeatedly slam my head into a brick wall, but eventually, after about 20 hours of in-game time, I finally completed it. And last, but definitely not least, is Master of Arms. Earn all campaign weapons, attachments, and camos. So getting all of the weapons and attachments isn't that big of a deal, you can do that pretty easily. It's the camos that's an issue. So to get the camos, you have to get 650 kills with the weapon. You have to do this for all of the weapons with the exception of the handguns, which you only have to get 150 kills with. And then the launchers you only have to get 300 kills with. There are 6 submachine guns, 7 assault rifles, 4 shotguns, 4 light machine guns, 4 sniper rifles, 4 handguns, and 3 launchers. To put it into perspective here, throughout my realistic playthrough of the campaign, I used the SVG sniper rifle the entire time. By the time I completed the last mission, I still had about 20 kills left until I earned the last camo. Getting 650 kills in the campaign is incredibly time consuming. Now there is a specific part on a specific mission where there will be infinitely spawning enemies that all come out of this little hole in the wall, and so if you get up to that point and you just grind out the weapons there, it makes it a lot easier, but still, it takes a very, very long time. Especially considering that if you're doing this strategy and you die, you will actually restart at the checkpoint before that, and you will lose all progress you made before dying. Another thing you have to watch out for is that if you kill enemies too quickly, your game can actually crash, and of course, if your game crashes, you lose all the progress you made in that match. So I guess this one isn't really hard, it's just extremely time consuming. And with that, we have completed the hardest trophy in the hardest game I have ever platinumed. Personally, I do not recommend going for this unless you really like Black Ops 3 and you just don't have anything better to do. However, if you do attempt this and you do manage to complete it, I think that solidifies your status as a very good Call of Duty player. I mean, like, I'm contemplating putting this on my college applications. While this channel is new and this is the first video on this channel, I am actually coming from another channel that has a little over 6,000 subscribers, but I wanted to start fresh because I didn't like the direction that the content was going, I didn't like the type of content that was getting attention. When I did stuff that I actually wanted to do, it didn't get views, so I decided to start fresh on this channel. So any and all support matters, please subscribe for more, and you know, all that. And yeah, that's it.